Hey everybody, Coach Kurt, this is ACD Combatives. This video is about how grapplers should incorporate striking, and of course I'm talking about striking for self-defense based grappling. You see that I have Kaiju Kembo background, a Krav Maga background, Hapkido, MMA. These are my striking influences, but let me be perfectly clear. I am not a master of anything. I've got my black belt in Hapkido and Jujitsu, and I'm a hobbyist martial artist at best. I consider myself average. I'm not a master, but I do believe, and I have found it extremely valuable to add striking to my repertoire as far as grappling is concerned for self-defense. If you are a grappler and you are a grappler for sport and that's your thing, absolutely awesome. I'm not suggesting that somebody who is doing judo for sport or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for sport or no-gi, what your flavor of grappling for sport is, it doesn't matter. If sport's your world, then absolutely that's great. I'm talking about people who want to add a self-defense based striking system to their grappling. Now, why do I say that? Because you can't rely on grappling alone, just like you can't rely on striking alone. Now, grappling is a terrific way of getting yourself in and out of a fight and taking somebody down and controlling the fight. But there are countless examples. I could go on forever talking about why you wouldn't want to necessarily grapple. Maybe you just want to do some quick striking and DD Mao, get the heck out of Dodge, run away in a civilian context. For me, it's about striking in and out of the clinch range to control the takedown. These are very important ranges for me. I think your clinch range is your most important range. You see Dutch-style mitt work on the screen right now. But I guess what I'm getting at is that you don't have to be a master striker. You just need to be very sufficient at it, and you need to work it into your grappling repertoire if self-defense is your primary goal. Too many times you see somebody who focuses too much on one or the other. I'm talking striking and grappling. Now, I started out as a striker. I started out in Kaiju Kembo. Actually, technically, I started out in Tang Sudo for about 6 months in junior high, and then I switched to Kaiju Kembo for several years. Later, I switched to Hapkido, and it wasn't until, I would say, 2012 that I started any kind of actual grappling outside of what you would see in Hapkido as in joint manipulation. In Jujitsu, I consider a grappling system, especially the way I train it, modern police concepts. If you're interested in the modern police concepts method of Jujitsu, there's a bunch of that on my channel. But at the end of the day, and by the time I reach the end of this video, I hope I made my point that being able to strike your way in and out of that clinch range is key. And as you see, I have influence with traditional martial arts. I'm using a wooden dummy. I am not a Wing Chun stylist. So if you're a Wing Chun stylist and you see me working wooden dummy and you're like, that is not correct, you're right. I don't do Wing Chun. I have a Kaiju Kembo Tumpai background, and that is my influence and how I use the wooden dummy with the spring arms. But I have found it to be a great tool to work in and out of the clinch range. Built that in with the heavy bag, and of course, what you saw at the beginning of the video, what I consider a flow spar. You also probably saw examples of what I call clinch range sparring, where your emphasis is to stay in the clinch range and to work for a takedown. It's not a ground game type of sparring where you take them down and then continue on the ground. I consider clinch sparring something where you work your way into the clinch range and you stay there and you go for the takedown and you're reset. There are several ways you should be practicing your sparring, randori, rolling in Jiu-Jitsu, what have you. I just want to emphasize that I'm talking about practicing your striking for self-defense. I'm not saying that all grapplers need to do this, but if in any way, shape, or form your focus is self-defense, then you absolutely should incorporate some type of striking into your game. You've picked the flavor of striking that you're interested in. You can see that my influence is all over the board. I definitely say that Kaiju Kambo probably has the strongest influence in how I approach my striking, plus MMA and some Krav. But I found it priceless to incorporate it into my training, and it's a great way to practice your training as you get older on the heavy bag. You don't have to always be sparring with somebody, but it's important to remember that you need to incorporate it. So I hope I made my point. I hope you liked the video. Everybody, please like, subscribe, and share, and everybody take care and be safe out there.
Let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out.